The Justice Department going to court later today, filing suit against Texas Governor Greg Abbott and the state of Texas over the floating barrier installed in the Rio Grande River to deter migrant crossings. The DOJ claims this is a humanitarian and environmental issue. Governor Abbott says he'll take it all the way to the Supreme Court if he has to.
Joining us now for more is Texas State Representative and former Chief of Staff at HHS under President Trump, Brian Harrison, and Staff Lieutenant with the Texas Highway Patrol, Christopher Olivarez. Good morning to you both. Congressman, I want to start with you, get your thoughts on Governor Abbott's barrier in the Rio Grande. Essentially, this is what he has to do. He has to take it in his own hands.
It's absolutely what we have to do. And this Biden lawsuit against the state of Texas proves that Joe Biden is, in fact, the America's last president. When Joe Biden assumed the office, he inherited the most secure border this nation's ever known. He actively had to work to turn this into a humanitarian crisis down there on the southern border. And the fact is that now Joe Biden is fighting harder the state of Texas than he is the cartels, the coyotes, the human traffickers, and the drug smugglers. Okay, we have known terrorists illegally crossing our borders, people on the terror watch list that he is not prosecuting.
Yeah.
But he's now going to turn his attention and fight the state of Texas for doing the job that he won't. This is the state of Texas. We are the first impacted by this disaster. We are the most impacted. And Mr. President, if you or your team is watching, I would say this to you. Do your job or get the hell out of the way. Governor Abbott is exactly right to be deploying these buoys and doing the job that Joe Biden won't, and saving Texas, saving America from the Biden border crisis.
I guarantee you that the president is not up right now watching, but his team certainly is.
Somebody is.
Yeah, Lieutenant, good to have you on this morning. Can you just tell us what this barrier, is it actually working? How big is it? How much of the river does it actually take up?
Rob, Allison, good morning. So this marine barrier is 1,000 feet in length. Of course, this is just the first part as far as trying to add more preventive measures to discourage illegal border crossings. And that's the fact of the matter, that the federal government has not stepped in to prevent preventive measures to discourage people from crossing the border. They talk about and they want to criticize what Texas is doing, but yet look at what we are doing for the past 2 years and even now. We're trying to prevent people from crossing the river. The river is very dangerous. That is not a normal way or a legal way to seek asylum. That's why these individuals need to go to a port of entry and seek asylum if they wish to do that. But the federal government has not done nothing to discourage that. They have not stepped in to try to prevent that. And yet they talk about preserving human life. But if they really cared about human life, that they would enforce immigration laws. But it's the state of Texas that's stepping in. We're trying to prevent these legal border crossings, also the flow of drugs that are coming across between the borders, criminals that are coming between the borders. And you mentioned it too. I mean, the federal government uses all their energy, all their focus on the state of Texas, but yet you would think they would use that energy to actually focus on the criminals, on the drugs, on the Mexican drug cartels.
Right.
But again, their focus right now is what the state of Texas is doing.
Yeah, Congressman, why do you think their focus isn't on securing the border and helping folks in Texas?
Well, you know what? It's one of the few campaign promises Joe Biden has kept. He campaigned on open borders, and he is delivering open borders, and Texans are paying the price. And think about what he's doing here with this lawsuit. This is the equivalent of an arsonist coming to your house, setting your house ablaze, and then suing you when you reach to grab a fire extinguisher. Joe Biden has shown nothing but lawless, reckless disregard to the economic, humanitarian, and national security disaster that he has created on the southern border of the United States. And if he's not going to do his job, the job that he is supposed to do under the Constitution, and secure the border, states are sovereign. I'm tired of states bowing down, prostrating ourselves to the altar of the almighty federal government. States have the clear constitutional authority to secure our borders. I'm glad Governor Abbott's doing this, and I'm committed to making sure he has every legislative tool necessary to do the job.
And Lieutenant, just about 15 seconds, but isn't it just comical that the DOJ cites environmental concerns? How about more than 2 million migrants crossing in this part of Texas alone? Forget about the litter, the debris, the trash, migrants defecating on both sides of the border on the riverbanks there, and then drugs in the water. That's all connected to the water table. Apparently that's not an issue, but this floating barrier is somehow an issue.
Right. So that just really goes to show you the hypocrisy, right? I mean, obviously they're so focused on what Texas is doing. We're trying to do something positive, but I can tell you for a fact it's working. Whatever we are doing is working, because if it does impact people, if it does upset people, obviously we are making an impact. And that's our goal, is to make an impact, to try to stem that flow of illegal border crossings. And as far as for the environmentalists, I mean, we're seeing more trash, more debris, used hygiene products that are on the United States side, yet there's no conversations, there's no outcry or outrage about that. But yet they're focused on a marine barrier that's in the middle of the river.
Yeah, none of that's bad for the environment. We'll keep an eye on what happens today. Christopher Olivarez, Brian Harrison, thanks so much for being with us.
Always great to be with
Thank you.
All right.